Howdy doody, everyone. How are you today? Well, my name's Carpo. For those who don't know, welcome to Carpo's channel. Today I'm going to talk again about psychedelics, so I'll just put it right out there. This is a video that's actually it's not necessarily about psychedelics, and I'm going to try to make it reasonably short, but the question that I'm wondering is, can the universe speak to us through mathematical fractals? Now, fractal geometry in the past 20 years has taken a whole new, it's basically, it wasn't until computers were available to plot these fractals. And the Mandelbrot fractal zoom is one of the most famous. But there are several different ones, and everybody's probably seen these interesting fractal shapes that when you zoom in, you can get smaller and smaller, and it continues to look the same, and that's the idea of what a fractal is. A lightning bolt is also a fractal because it branches off. So is a tree. So are the dendritic patterns within their blood vessels. No matter how much you zoom in on a lot of things, it seems to get smaller. A coastline is another example. It looks like a straight coastline. You zoom in a little more and you see more shapes. You zoom in even more on a straight part, you see more shapes. And it's the old coastline question of how long is a border around a country? How do you measure it? Foot by foot, inch by inch, millimeter. On the atomic level, it may go infinitely and never finish. So these fractals are kind of played out in the sense that people use it as kind of a catch-all term, like, oh, it's fractals. But this is something different that I mentioned in a video I made earlier that I had a quite intense LSD experience the other day, and I was seeing these fractals. It was the phi ratio, but there were these fractal shapes within it that had basically looked like kind of like dragon or lizard scales, multicolored, very distinct and a fixed hallucination, but they could waver and alter, but it kept coming back. And I started thinking about all these different shapes that they throughout history with spirals and the various fractals they seem to represent. After the computer was able to plot these math equations, then they were able to plot that on paper and draw it out, and that's what gives you that fractal shape. And it's difficult to understand. I mean, I don't fully comprehend it, but I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, I read a little article where somebody was saying, can the universe speak to us through mathematics? And I started thinking about the things that I've seen when I'm in that state of mind. And I started thinking, they say the universe is math, and that everything is merely an equation, that everything that exists around us is based on equations, mathematical formulas. And it's very difficult to grasp that and to say, what do you mean it's math? They're physical objects, because I don't quite, I can't comprehend all that because I'm not a mathematician. But is it possible that when people are in certain altered states, that they're able to receive, let's say, transmissions that are consistently bombarding the universe? If there are waves or energies that keep things intact, that create matter, or maybe you're able to respond differently to the stimuli around you. It's a very interesting state of mind that's so difficult to explain because it sounds like hogwash to somebody who's never been there or never seen these things. But once you've seen them, they're so prominent and they're so real that when you try to describe it to someone, if they've never done psychedelics, they think you're just hallucinating. And to others who have done it, they say, yeah, I've been there, but I can't describe it either. Any article that we read about people trying to define the things that they see is impossible because it's not just seen with the mind. It's seen with the mind's eye. It's not seen with your eyes. And while you may give it a visual picture, my question is, are you really receiving information in the form of a picture? Or maybe is your brain conjuring information that you already know and putting it in that form? That's the best I can do to try to explain it. I have no idea where else to go with that, but all opinions are welcome.